Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Japanu Toys. I've been meaning to do a look at this kind of toy line and stuff for a while now, so I've finally gotten onto it, so yay for me. We're going to be having a look at the Armour Change Rider series for Kamen Rider, because yeah, Kamen Rider is pretty cool and popular. And we're going to be having a look at Zangetsu, Takatora himself, the Shinigami, the White Devil. Been looking forward to this for a while, and I certainly am not disappointed with the toy. Spoilers for later on in the video, I guess. So let's get on and have a look at the Armour Change series and have a think about what it's like to have a children's toy line when usually it's much more of an adults collector stuff with the figure arts and whatnot. So let's get into that, shall we? Yeah, we shall. So, Zangetsu without any arms change stuff on, let's just have a look quickly at the base body. And the first thing to notice is how lovely and pearly the white is on this guy. He looks real hella pretty. He's got lovely bits of gold detail on him. I'm even quite impressed by how they've done the Sengoku driver. I could have done with a bit more paint apps, but for the price of the toy and what this toy is meant to be, it's not a huge issue that it's not painted. It's detailed enough that if you have the skill and the will, you can probably do it yourself. I have neither. So he's going to be bare, I'm afraid. Around the back they have a lot of screws, obviously, just to hold the toy together. This isn't a figure art, so they couldn't spend the money to hide that stuff. But it's not an issue for me, it's just one of those things. So let's have a look at Takatora's articulation. I want to mention the head first. There is a cut there, and that's for the arms change gimmick, which we'll get onto later in the video. The head can move around because it's on a ball joint and gives him quite a lot of expression and tiltiness action to it, which is cool. I wasn't actually suspecting, so I like that quite a bit. The arms are on universal joints, so go out about that far. If the shoulders were different, maybe could have gone further. And there's the shoulder joint there. You have a 90-degree elbow bend as well. We also have a bicep swivel. The fingers, the two top ones and the two bottom ones, move separately, which can look a bit weird, but you can work with it. And we also have a wrist joint. The joint in his waist is also just a cut, so you can just swivel it around okay. And I kind of wish the Sengoku driver had a bit of motion to it, but it's not a huge issue, it doesn't. We also have the holster, which can move a little bit. The legs will go out about that far, which is as far as you need them to go, really. And we also have them going forward, again about that much, could have done with a bit more. A 90-degree leg bend and a thigh cut, which breaks up the pattern, but it's not a huge deal for me anyway. We also have ball joints in his feet, and that's his articulation. He's got quite a fair amount, I would say, for a kid's standard toy anyway. One thing worth mentioning, if you feel he's off balance a little bit, it's probably because of the ball joints, so just tilt him. You know, he might be like that, so just tilt him back, and he's fairly easy to reposition to look good. I want to also mention an older toy, which is this Ryuki one from either 2002 or 2003. They are very similar in their construction, but Zangetsu's got the proportions, which are a lot better, and a lot more height to him. It's just kind of weird to see a 2002-2003 toy compared to this 2014 one, and them be fairly similar in how they've been designed, but you know, he's been refined over the years, and Zangetsu is a lot better than the Ryuki. But let's have a real quick look at the Melon Arms, shall we? And I'm quite impressed with it. It looks really good. It's got a lot of nice textured detail on it. It's got some nice paint apps, and it looks like it should do from the show. We also have the cool helmet bit, which actually has some nice detail on it as well. But how about now we just combine it with Takatora? Attaching the Melon Arm to Zangetsu and then changing it into its armor mode is a really quick and simple process, which I really do enjoy quite a lot. Now it's combined with Takatora, it's looking pretty good, quite convincing as armor anyway. Taking a look at the helmet part, it's got the cool kind of look through his visor, and you've got the fruit bit there showing. If you turn him to the side, obviously you see right through to the other side, which is a bit of a shame. But overall, I still think it's quite a nice little thing that they've got going here. So does the Melon Arms mess up the articulation? No, the shoulder pads move up and down, so it can keep nice and flush with the arm if you like, which is cool. I like that. A problem I have is the chest. It doesn't sit flush, and that's obviously just due to how the Melon Arm transforms. From certain angles, it's fine. It's about here that it doesn't look quite as good, but from straight on, he's dandy. The back obviously has a bit backable here just because of where the helmet would go. Not a huge thing. It's nice that they've got silver paint in there. So yeah, I mean, he's not falling backwards, and that's the main thing in my eyes. So one of Zangetsu's accessories is the Muso Saber here, which is alright. It is flexi plastic, it can bend, and it came out of the package bent. And it could do with a bit more paint detail on it, but it's overall nicely detailed, and it does have a peg, obviously, so you can peg to put it onto his waist and let him hold it. Very much similar to the Gaim figure from what I'm told. I don't have it yet, but it's cool that he can store it. Whoops. I didn't know it could do that. Okay, let's pull this bit off and reattach it to the belt. Just like that. There we go. It's all good now, folks. I haven't broke him. And of course, because he's got the grippy hands, you just open his hand up and close his fingers, and badoosh, he's now holding his Muso Saber. And he's ready to cut or shoot dudes, or both, you know. That is all up to him. He also comes with the Melon Defender, which is an awesome name for a shield, I will say. Awesome. I love the look of this shield. It's nice that it's got gold on. It could definitely do with a few more paint apps, but it's been molded very nicely. It, again, is soft plastic, but there's so much of it, it's not that soft. And the handle itself is hard plastic as well, so you don't need to worry about the handle getting all wonky at the very least. So again, yeah, all you do is you open his hand and you put it in his hand, then you close his hand. You know, you go through the motions of how you hold things, as anybody would. And there you go, he's all defended up and ready to slice, defend, and slice. I really like this combination of weapon and shield. You feel like you're getting a lot, and then you can pose him with some quite cool stances and whatnot. It's overall pretty badass. One thing to mention, of course, is the helmet piece here, as I will show you. It obviously clips into the back here through the peg on the back of its head. There we go, pop it off. You know, you get this slot, and then you just kind of plop it into position, and it would be held, you know, it gets held by the Melon inside the Melon Arms. He cannot do it, you know, when you retransform the Melon into normal mode, like with Gaim, apparently you can do this. You just close it all up and it would come off. It would all come off nicely. With this one, at least, when you try and do it, the bit does not stay inside and just kind of starts to float around, which is a bit of a shame that it's not something that's in every figure. But you know, so you'd need to pull it off, and then you pull off the arms here by, you know, you just come on. There we go. You just pull it off, and then you just recreate the Melon that way, and then it's ready to transform again. It's a bit of a shame, like I say, but hey, what are you going to do? So for my first experience with the Armour Change figures, I think Zangetsu's pretty good. He's got a lot of articulation. The Melon Arms Change gimmick's really fun. The weapons are really cool. Overall, I just think it's a really successful kids line toy, and really can satisfy collectors such as myself, as well as just the little kiddie winkles that just want a fun toy to play with. It feels a lot more high-end than probably what it should do. And I'm sure I'll have a lot more fun when I get some more little fruit hats for this guy. But until then, I'm just going to have to quench my thirst for a moment with a nice drink of soda. Until next time, guys.